It's okay. Things have already given up. See my face, heed my call. Bitch.
I started recording as you were talking, which is fine. We'll cut it out. You're like, we don't edit around these parts.
We don't, which is why we need to keep the constant flow going. Hello everybody, welcome back to Uneducation Station. This probably sounds horrible because I'm trying to take my headphones out, but there we go. That's what I was looking for. Go ahead, do your thing. Psh, yeah, there we go. You know, it'll probably get eaten out by oh, I wish it was me, but no, it's probably gonna get eaten out by the D voice anyway, so it's all good, or the D noise. So yeah. Cheers.
That's Arthur.
Bam.
I'm Zach.
Bam. And welcome back to Uned. It's been a while, but you know, I say that, but now we're actually on, because before what would happen is that we say, hey, it's been a while since we recorded, and then, but we're back on track now, and then we weren't back on track, but now we're back on track.
It's so funny because the intro to that video would be like, oh, hey, you know, it's been a while, but we got the schedule all sorted and everything like that. 2 weeks without an upload.
I say this because, yeah, I just slammed like 5 episodes in like 2 days, and I was like, all right, and we're gonna double upload every single one, so we're caught up now. Essentially, I'm pretty sure we're caught up. I think by the time we're recording timelines, I hate saying timelines, Zach. It's the #1 taboo. You don't date the video.
Today is, I don't even know what fucking day it is.
Wednesday, my dudes. It will go up on a Wednesday. I think this will go up the following week.
Oh,
yeah,
dope. Okay.
So yeah, we're pretty set. We're recording for the preceding week, which is the correct way to do things. So this is good. We are back to, I know, boohoo, we're back to 1 episode a week. I know, I'm sorry. The 2 episode a week, it was nice. It was nice to go back to it. But we gotta get through the backlog. Otherwise, we're just gonna be stuck in limbo forever. You know? Dude,
do you remember when we had like a 3-month backlog? That was absolutely insane.
Pretty sure that was like episode 3. I'm pretty sure.
Well, because I don't know why I remember this so vividly, but we started shooting like months before the show actually started.
Yes.
And so it turned into us talking about like the M1 chips in Apple computers.
Yes.
And then it was like 4 months later, the episode would come out.
That wasn't very great, I gotta say. But it's okay. Zach, do you have any articles? Do you have any news things?
You know what? There was one thing that I did want to talk about that is a little bit more in like the tech side of things.
Okay,
so
sure.
I saw that, and also, by the way, this is not a news show. And
no, Zach, we are a news show now, but this is not currently the news segment. Or is it the news segment?
This is not the news segment.
This is not the news segment.
This is the...
Do we have an article today?
We do.
We do. Okay. Can't wait for that. I'm not focused. Wait, that's some.
The Price is Right, I think is what that was.
That was The Price is Right. I was going for like a news theme, like you know, like the news, like the breaking news, and then the chime.
You know, I think we need to just make one of those as a scene, or like as a transition. I wonder if there's
a royalty-free one.
There probably is one out there. Anyway,
not just the audio, but also the transition, and we will use that shitty royalty-free transition. the Microsoft Windows Movie Maker transition.
Oh my gosh, that would be so funny, man!
Fantastic.
That would like be the only circumstance why it would be funny to have a green screen behind me.
Correct. Yes. I apologize. Go ahead now.
Anywho, so I heard that the 4090 cards, or the 40 series cards, are coming out. And they are super fucking expensive.
You know, it's funny, Zach, because I am the tech guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm the guy. I have not caught up with any of the new 4090, any of the Ryzen 7000. I think Intel just did their press as well, or their keynote, or whatever they want to call it. I missed it completely. I'm behind, Zach. I've gone and done it.
Well, okay.
Do you want to bring up the prices then?
Yeah, you can.
Let's evaluate. I actually don't know the prices. I know some of the prices. I know vaguely, because I remember, excuse me, discussing it with my Discord. You can do bit.ly/ubuchat to join my Discord, and we talk about tech and anime and stuff. I do vividly remember that you may want to like search prices specifically, like NVIDIA 4000 series prices. Price, MSRP, maybe perhaps. Price. I do remember we were discussing it, and I do have my picks as my favorites, or what I think are going to be the best ones. I do have my picks. But yes, the holy ads, Batman. Nobody can see it, but there are a lot of ads. No free clout here, Zach. No free clout. Go ahead and oh no, not quite. Okay, well I'll keep talking while you find it.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. Go ahead and type MSRP then instead.
Oh, I found prices.
Oh, you found it. Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, you got it. I believe in you, Zach. This is the producer. Cool.
Oh my god.
You may want to zoom in because my squinty eyes can't see it, Zach.
Yeah, I know.
All right. I know. This is the 30 series, Zach.
Wow.
Wait, no. What can we expect? So this is. Did they? Did they even drop the 4,000? No, they did. Of course they did. Wait, what are we looking at right now? Scroll down a little bit more.
Oh, we were looking at the 30 series cards.
We're looking at the 30s right now. Yeah, scroll down. No, it's okay.
Oh, 4,000 series prices.
Okay, so they're not going to list it. They're just going to put it indents into their article. Can you scroll down? Maybe they have a chart.
Please have a chart.
Please have a chart. That'd be swaggin'. No, they just have a bunch of ads.
They just have a bunch of
Okay, but well, Zach, we're a news show, so we can do this. Yeah. So, what is this? PC Guide?
Yeah.
PC Guide. Okay. The most expensive of the two GPUs is the 4090, the TX. Zach, who the fuck? Zach, who wrote this? What is the TX 4090? Is there no ray tracing?
I don't know.
Where's the ray, Zach? It's just tracing. What are they tracing, Zach?
Whenever I see TX, I just think of treatment because that's a medical abbreviation.
You know, it's funny because I think of the keyboard stabilizers now. The duality of men. Nerd. Hey, fuck you, bitch. Is the RTX 4090, which will carry an MSRP of $1,599 in line with the market expectations. This is a full $100 more expensive than the launch prices of the Ampere equivalent, which was the 3090. They just want to say Ampere equivalent because it sounds cooler instead of just saying the 3090.
Yeah.
Or the previous card of the 90 class. Ampere. I actually don't even know what this new one is called. It's the same story with the base 4080 model 12 gigabytes, which will release at $799. Interestingly, yes, I think the 3080 launched at $699. No, I think $799. Well, I mean, we can scroll up and see, but that's okay. But I do know I see a sneak peek. Go ahead, you can go ahead. But I do see a sneak peek of what they're about to talk about, and this is something I can jump into because I do know a little bit about this, and it is the current debacle with the RTX. Like everybody's super mad about NVIDIA right now because they're doing this 3090 price. Well, I know the 3090 is $1,299, but the 3080.
Anywho, you were saying.
Wait, was it $1,299? I don't know. But sorry, you're looking it up. But it's okay. So the current, you may have to go back to the article to show me, but the current, yeah. So the 16 gigabyte. Oh, you were there. It's all good. Oh, I guess we could scroll up and see it. Yeah, sure. Well, this is the 3080 Ti's and stuff. 3080 Ti was $1,079. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the 3080 was actually no. I think the 3080 was in fact like $799. Okay, anyways, no one cares, Zach, because now we're at the 40s, Zach. The roaring 40s. I think.
And I still have a 2080.
And that's fine. The roaring 20s. So, okay, first of all, tech guy here, although I just said that I'm not caught up with the things, but this, to my understanding, this is what I know about the current 40 cards. Based off of the price points that I know of the 60s and the 70s, I think the 70 is going to be the best card. Look, why do you think that? Thank you for asking, random viewer. So, Zach, you need to switch to your face so I can get that for the thumbnail, Zach. You don't understand.
I did.
Oh, it didn't look like you did.
I don't know.
Oh, well, see, at this point, you're not looking at the monitor, and I'm looking at the monitor. Nobody cares. They just want to know about. They want to know about the why this is my favorite card, because that's what they're here for the financial advice. For the technology advice, and a guy who hasn't even looked at how they perform. but I kind of do because I understand, to my understanding, that the 4070 is probably going to be maybe around like 3070 Ti 3080 class in performance, right?
Mhm.
Is that a fair judgment to make, Zach?
So
Is that a fair educated guess to make?
we only make uneducated guesses around
We do
these
only
parts.
make uneducated guesses.
At the uneducation station.
Correct.
I mean, I know that from the transition from the 20 series cards to the 30 series cards, it was kind of like the 3060 was shooting around the same specs as like the 2070.
Correct.
And then the 3070 was like the 2080 and so on and so forth.
Correct. So it's a fair assumption to make. However, the 3070 is also, I believe, going to have 10 gigabytes of RAM, of VRAM. That's more. No, that's as much as the 3080 does. 3080, 10 gigabyte. So the 4070 is going to have 10 gigabytes. What does that mean? Well, thank you for asking, other random viewer. It just means it has more RAM. I know, crazy concept, right? Oh, wow. It has more video RAMs, so you can play your Call of Duties. You play your Warzone 2, Zach. You know there's a Warzone 2 now?
For the Modern Warfare 2?
Yes. Did you get to play the beta, by the way?
No,
Yeah.
I forgot.
I didn't either. I didn't forget. I was just like, no.
You're like, I am not fucking playing this
No,
game.
I was just busy. But yeah, it's just more graphical things that, and it's nice. And also for the encoding and for the rendering. You see my vocabulary is slipping now. Did I mention I haven't slept yet? I don't think I've slept yet. Grab my damn face, camera. Grab it. Don't grab Miku. Grab my face. Grab my face. Yes, thank you, Bat.
Do you want me to?
No, I don't want you to do it, Zach. I'm sorry, I'm grumpy. Because I haven't slept. I'm currently trying to fix my sleep schedule.
Yeah, I know. You texted me at like 7:30 this morning, and you're like, "Hey, yo, what up?" And I'm
Hey,
like,
yo.
"Bro, can you fucking go to sleep,
It's
please?"
time for uned, bitch. It's like, oh, dude, it's like 3 a.m. Time for uned.
Bitch.
I didn't say it in those words. I'm paraphrasing.
But yeah, I think it's really interesting kind of looking at because I know when the 30 series cards launched, it was like the craziest shit ever.
Yes.
Because everyone was freaking out like, oh my God, these cards are so good. They are too good. And then it launched us into a graphics card recession.
Correct.
Which was not fun.
Correct.
And so now I'm kind of interested to see how it plays out with the next series of cards. And, you know, obviously they're trying to price it accordingly so that something like that doesn't happen again.
Right. Yes. The prices are jacked up a bit to reflect that. And I'm glad that they are. They're not jacked up incredibly, but it's still kind of similar to where tiering was, which is 20 series. So I'm glad about that. So, if I remember correctly, again, I'm kind of going off of like the only thing I know about the 40 series is what I've heard from the grapevine. I have not watched any videos yet. I'm usually on top of that. But I have not because I've been busy.
Not sleeping,
you know, back to school and stuff like that. It's pretty rough.
How's school been going, by the way?
Ha!
Is it just pain?
Ha! 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 You thought my opinion would change, huh? It's because I'm going to school now, Zach. You thought my opinion would change. You said, "Oh, he's going to school now, so I'm sure he likes school. He enjoys school now." My opinion didn't change, Zach. I still don't like school. So why am I doing school?
I don't know, Arthur. Why are you doing school?
Good question, Zach. You're a real good host right now, Zach. A good interviewer. Asking leading questions of which I can answer with more information.
Yes. We finish each other's
potato salad. Yeah. Okay. So for those who don't know, and for those who may care, I appreciate it. I am going back to school, and you guys already know how I feel about school. Or maybe not. And if not, I can do a brief spark notes, of which will then eventually evolve into the aforementioned episode of Grandiose, which at this point will just be the finale. I think.
No, I think that'll be episode 100.
You think? All right. Yeah, we're pretty close. I'm just going to keep checking my wrist with my imaginary watch, and I keep checking different ones.
And this one has the number of episodes that we're on, and this one has the amount of times that we've said that we're going to do this episode, and we still haven't done it yet.
Correct. Is it focused on me, Zach?
It is.
It is?
Yes.
Well, I was going to say something bad. I'm not going to say it. I was going to say something really bad. So I am in school again, and I'm not the greatest fan of school because I dislike the education. The way that, at least in the US, the way education is approached, monetary wise. So for example, I don't like how much schooling cost because school is good, and I want to preface that school is good. But for someone who is kind of am very close to already figuring it out anyways, I feel like I shouldn't be in school, but because I can't land a actual real person job, because even though I go to school and I get a piece of paper and I go to a job and I won't know anything and they're going to have to train me to do specified things anyways. Anywho, you look like you were going to say something. You were like this.
So
you were ready for it, and then you kept on my camera as I sat here and exhaled. So I was like, "Oh, what is he gonna say? He's gonna say something incredible. I'm waiting.
I was waiting for you to finish your thought.
He's gonna say something. And I'm gonna come. It's gonna be crazy."
I thought you were gonna say something, and so I was gonna let you finish your thought before I started talking. Fuck. I
don't know if you even saw. I think you were still on my camera. You were just like, you were ready to speak. You're like you're ready for it.
So okay, one thing that I will say that's
Zach's corner.
Zach's side of the set. So one thing that I will say that's really infuriating when it comes to the workforce and how it corresponds with school and everything like that, and I know we won't go into it because aforementioned episode. So it's really frustrating when they're like, oh yeah, you need a bachelor's degree to be able to enter this entry-level job. And then you're like, I bet. And so you go get said bachelor's degree, go to school, do such and things and stuff and things. And then they're like, oh yeah, we also want real world experience. And so I'm just sitting here like, hey, yo, why is it that I need to give you experience and also an education when I can't get the education while also getting experience, because I need the education to get the job, and you need to get the job to get the work experience. So how are you going to get a job that requires work experience if it's an entry-level position and you don't have said work experience?
Correct. By the way, I am listening to you. I'm just testing. I decided I was going to try to look at the Canon app.
Oh, cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have to connect it, and then I have to get up and, so okay. Anyways, but yes, you're correct. Because oftentimes if I go to school and learn a bunch of base knowledge, then it will help me when I actually enter company XYZ. But then I'm still going to go into company XYZ and have my base knowledge, but not know how they operate, because every company XYZ, ABC, 1, 2, 3, easy as
Do, re,
mi.
You and me, girl.
What a shit episode this is. This whole time, we're just trying to finish each other's thoughts, and I'm trying to pull fucking focus on my face, man. What a great episode this is.
It's the hat.
It is the hat. So now I hope my hair is okay.
Your hair looks good, actually.
Are you sure, Zach?
I'm positive.
Are you sure, Zach?
I'm positive.
Okay, I'm trusting you, Zach. I'm trusting you. Let's pull out a clump of hair.
I trusted you. You betrayed my trust.
You betrayed me. Okay. What the hell was I saying? School. Because the companies.
Yeah.
I'm going to enter this XYZ, ABC, Do, Re, Mi company, and they're all going to function differently. Yes, it would help if I'm going to get a job as a accountant. to learn how to use Microsoft products, right?
Right.
Excel and that would help, Zach, right? I don't think I need to spend 4 years of my life with thousands of dollars and a couple of geology classes to figure that out.
They're like, you know what? You're going to school for computer engineering. You know what you need? A psychology class.
You know what you need? A yoga class. What the fuck?
You need physical credit. Like, go fuck yourself.
Dude, yeah, fuck you. I would be sitting on a fucking chair for 8 hours. Fuck you, bitch.
Dude, I am already well prepared for that position because I've been doing that.
It's going to be here and there because the current the current thing, I'm going for IT now, but I'm only doing 2 years. And this is a more specialized program.
Mm-hmm.
So now what's happening is that all of my classes are going to be specifically for that area. A couple of outliers here and there, but that's okay. It's not like a geology, right?
Yeah.
For me, I need to know the fault lines and the craters and such, and the trenches in the ocean.
Mariana Trench.
In order to tell a nice gentleman, hey, maybe you should turn your computer off and back on and see if that helps.
Have you tried plugging in the power cable into the computer?
Yeah. But yeah, all of my classes are online and I hate that. So that's part 1. Well, I guess part 2. I already went through part 1. I don't like how I gotta do it. Part 2, all of them are online. It's not Zoom, Zach. It's online. It's OG online.
That fucking sucks.
It blows. I hate that. Some people, they're like, hell yeah, I love that. I loved Zoom when we did it. I did online class before. That's awesome. That's you. I love that for you. Keep doing what you're doing. And you'll probably land yourself a fantastic job. You'll fuck the hottest bitches and drive the nicest cars. Me? Not so lucky, Zach, because I don't like doing that. And I'm pretty sure maybe not all of them, but like 90% of them are going to be online. So what does that mean for those who may not know? That's all good. I don't blame you. It's so you're on your own time. I do have some of them there's an instructor or a professor, and some of them there isn't. That's the scariest. I'm glad I'm not there, but I'm sure that's going to happen at some point. But I do have one with an instructor or with a professor, and that's good. I'm doing 2 classes right now. Well, being modest, my first time back in 3 years, It's 2 classes in a term. I'll just take her slow, take her slow. And I'm in no rush to graduate anyways, so it's all good. Going back to what I was saying, I don't like online classes because I enjoy being in the school environment. I like being in a classroom. I like being on campus. And even if it's like a community college where campus life may not be as, I don't know.
Vibrant, I guess, would be a good way to
vibrant
put it.
That's a very good word. Not as vibrant as something like UW.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? I'm not going to the basketball games. I apologize.
Or WSU Pullman or something like that.
Yeah. So, but even then, just being in a classroom, Zach, being around people. I never leave my house, Zach. So that may be surprising for you to hear, but I still enjoy that because human interaction is important. And also I'm not distracted.
Right.
I have no excuse to be distracted. Even if I say, okay, I'm not going to distract myself. I was going to slam all my homework for this week yesterday. I didn't do shit yesterday. Well, I did all sorts of other things because I didn't want to do that.
Streamed.
I didn't stream, actually.
Wait. Oh, it was the day before yesterday.
Yeah. And I didn't do it because I was just like, I can't be fucking asked. And when I say I don't like school, it's tough because as a young, to the eyes of many, a young person, I sound like a young person who's like, I don't want to go to school because school is stupid. But
it's so much more complicated than that.
It is.
And that's the hard thing. And I completely understand where you're coming from, where it's like, if it's strictly online, there's no one kind of giving you any direction at all. and you're just kind of like left to your own devices, it's really difficult to be motivated. And
Yes.
I've been there, and like, you know,
motivation is a big one. That's the biggest word you can bring up.
yeah, and it's motivation and distractions, because if you have super bad ADHD like I do, you know, it's just like, oh, squirrel, and then I'm not doing my homework.
I don't even consider myself to even have ADHD. It's just purely I don't want to do it. So I do other things.
Right.
That's it. I will lube switches, Zach. I will do my Genshin dailies, Zach. I will work out, Zach. I will water the plants, Zach. I don't fucking know. Go to the mailbox, Zach. I'll run a mile. I would literally rather run. We've already established I'm not running, Zach. I don't run.
Unless someone's chasing you.
Unless someone's chasing me, or it's at least a minimum of, or a maximum of 100 meters. I'm not running for shit, Zach. And I will run a mile. Marathon, fuck it, Zach. Then do some goddamn daily assignment. Why is that, Zach? Even though it's so simple, Zach. Like, it's so simple, Zach. Go online, read the thing, find an article, discuss it in one paragraph or less, or more, and submit it for 10 points. Why can I not do that in 24 hours?
Because you cannot be fucking bothered.
Exactly. And that makes me sound like a bad student, and you're correct. I am a bad student because I just don't enjoy being studious in that, in this scenario, I guess.
Right. And something that is really important is that, you know, for the people who aren't really sure what they're going to be doing as a career or something like that, they're just kind of like going to school, seeing what's there, you know, and then kind of going from there. That's, you know, that's important. That's a very good time for development and growth for yourself.
Yes.
And I highly 110% advocate for that.
Correct. Yes.
So
I do as well.
For the people who already know what they want to get into, they already know how applicable, you know, world studies is going to be for an IT career. You know, like it's hard for you to be motivated to do these classes that literally have fucking nothing to do with what you're going to actually be doing with your life. And you know that because you've already started applying yourself to that as well. And so it's really hard to do that and also be unsupervised and also, you know, have so many things that you would rather be doing. There are so, like, I would rather freaking go skinny dipping in the Antarctic than like,
no, literally. Like, literally, I would rather be doing so many different things that I consider in my brain productive.
Yeah.
Lube switches, work on keyboards, learn more piano.
Yeah.
Go on YouTube and learn about things that I actually find interesting.
Right.
Ironically, isn't it? And I know this is we're breaking into this, and we're really cracking the shell of this education system thing. But it's just like the big takeaway that I just want to say is simply that thing that you said called motivation. Because if you're not motivated, I'm sorry. Listen, some people. Okay, what's the classic thing that they're going to tell you? Well, it doesn't matter. You got to do it. That is the stupidest thing. That is the stupid. That applies to some things, and I've said that in the podcast, like being creative, being a content creator, or streaming. Sometimes it's hard to be motivated to stream. Sometimes you just need to hit the start stream button, and then you'll get your jam. And you'll start having fun. Sometimes you just need to hit the record button on your camera and make that fucking apology video, Zach, and you'll start having fun. Maybe not on the apology video, but on the other video, you'll start having fun. And
the Chubby Bunny video. Yeah,
that one. You'll say, I don't know. I'm getting apprehensive and I don't want to do this. It's a lot of work. And then you hit record and you start saying things. You start saying jokes, even if it's not with another person. It's a video by yourself, and you kind of have an idea, but there's no plans. But you start hitting record, and all of a sudden the video comes together. You know, it's that idea, that idea of creating that motivation or pushing through and finding that motivation again is different than me saying, okay, I'm gonna wake up in the morning or whatever time I wake up and spend 2 to 3 hours or even longer reading and studying.
So I just thought of something really interesting that I think that you might like.
Sure.
So the way that I am realizing that both of us probably rationalize this is how valuable your time is. And so when you're sitting there working on an ed or looping switches or doing all those types of things, like there is so much that you can do, and it seems like you're being so productive with your time.
Yes.
And then when you're talking about something like studying for school, everything like that, like it's really hard to feel that tangible, like the reward for your time. It's like, cool, I got 10 points. Yay. You know, it's really hard to get past the fact of like, dude, you got paid for editing Call of Duty.
Yeah. I know. And maybe it's the fact that I've already kind of gotten a feel for it, you know.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, but even, okay, let's say, okay, how about I get a career? By the way, just let me know, give me a sign if I'm not in focus.
Okay, I will let you know.
Okay, cool. Just stop my sentence. Be like, hey, can you open your eyes for the camera? And I'll be like, okay, sure, dude. Okay.
You're like, hello. My name is Mark.
Hello. There we go. So, I'm sorry. Tired Nuki is weird Nuki. Like, I apologize. People think drunk Nuki, drunk Nuki, high Nuki. No, tired Nuki is different Nuki. I'm never high. I would never do that. But anyways, I think it's the idea of, like, I could already just be doing it. Like, I know a lot myself already, but it's okay. I know I'm pretty good at math. You know, like in general. Can I solve like derivatives and integrals now, like calculus stuff? No, probably not. But I did it in the past, and I understand that I am competent in that subject compared to things like science or history or some other things like that.
It runs in your blood.
It runs in my blood. So, and you were smiling the whole time. You wanted to say that so badly. I commend you for that. Good job, Zach. You held it in and waited for the right moment. Good job. But you could have cut me off anytime if you wanted to.
I know.
It's all good.
Okay, I will let you finish, I promise, and yes. I don't want you to lose that thought, but I really want to reassure to people that I am not racist. We just
we're great friends. It's all good.
We just shoot the shit and say a lot of out-of-pocket things.
It's okay. It's all good. Yep. So, what was I saying?
You're really good at math.
I am really good at math. But could I? The reason why I was good at math is because, and I had good grades in math, is because I just sat there and stared at formula sheets until I memorized them. Right? Sound familiar? That's right. That's high school. You stare at paper and memorize the funny drawings that are made from ink, which are words, and you memorize them and then you forget them. But what you don't forget is how you apply them.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm competent in doing things like quick math. Man's not hot in my head, and stuff like that. And applying ideas that I learned in math, maybe not specifically like just throw a fucking summation at me or whatever. No, but throwing ideas. I know, I'm just saying calculus words. I apologize. But I know a lot about computers. I can build computers, right?
Right.
Why can I not just go and apply for a job building computers? That's a rhetorical question. I apologize, but that's why that's what I have an issue with. Again, I believe we've said it in the past. I would prefer if my heart surgeon did some schooling, right? I would prefer that for that type of occupation,
Right.
I would prefer if I guess that's the hard hitter example there. But for something like building a computer or I don't know,
like IT.
Yeah, like IT and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of jargon for sure.
Yeah,
that's jargon that I could learn while I'm working, while I'm being trained. What at my old job, because I did quit. I'm no longer Boba Man, but at my old job, I don't know.
R.I.P. Boba Man.
I don't know about shit about Boba, Zach, and I don't cook. You already know that I don't cook. I don't do these things. So how was I able to stay there for 4 years and know everything off the back of my hand, back of my hand, back of my head, back of my head, palm of my hand? From training and experience.
Boba cult.
Boba cults, not quite, but well, I guess so. And sure, there were some things I didn't know, but I held my own very fine in 4 years, and I could run the store by myself if I needed to, and I can answer I can answer basically almost any question, unless it's super specific, like, oh, how many calories was in the sugar that you put in this bubble tea? If you're gonna ask me that, you probably shouldn't be drinking this. But if you ask me certain, questions about, things that maybe you don't know, but I might know, I will probably know. And if not, I can actually perform a pretty good educated guess because I just understand that flow. If I haven't done any IT or computer science classes or whatever before I built computers. And then I took a motherboard by the heatsink and flailed it around like it was a fucking frisbee on video.
That was kind of terrifying.
But it's fine because I was comfortable doing it, Zach.
Whose PC build was that for?
That was Brandon's. My cousin's. The one I built a PC for a console player. That was fun. And why I remember one time when we were building that computer with Jackson, and we're doing it on his dining table because funny enough, that was the only place we had to do it. His dining table was like a mess. That was pretty funny. I know his dad came over too, and we're just talking and stuff. And I remember this so specifically. We're talking about I was talking about like the pins and how they're they can bend and stuff. But then I was just but then as I was doing that, I was ironically and kind of jokingly just smacking the motherboard and touching the pins and stuff and rubbing my fingerprints on the CPU and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously that's stupid, but I'm very comfortable with it.
Right.
And I know it's fine. I know the limits. I know when it's like, oh, that's probably not right. And it's so good. It's fine. It's all good. When his shit was black, when his thing was boot looping and we didn't know what it was, I was like, just turn it off. It's fine. I mean, we're apprehensive about it at first, of course, but at a certain point, I was like, just turn it off. It's all good. And that's one of those. I think, you know what? I have a great way to just summarize my entire thing. With experience, you get enough experience and training that you can make judgment. You can make the right call. If you're working customer service and some shit goes down, whatever it may be, I don't know, there's a fight, or there's a Karen, or there's a I was gonna say a spill, but that's probably like janitor stuff. But there's something specific that happens, something very specific that I can't even think about. If you can make the call right there, the correct call to do in that situation without having to get a manager or get another work or whatever, if you can do it, then you know your job. You know what to do in your situation. It's judgment. That's all. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. And if I can make that judgment, then I think I'll be okay. But what's the problem? Well, in college, you can, like, if you think that you don't need to take a certain class, you can take a test in order to get the credits for it.
I didn't know that was a thing, but I've heard about it before.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing either. And I remember I was talking with Brandon's dad. And we were talking about it because me and Brandon share similar opinions about schooling. Although he graduated. Good shit.
Good shit.
Yes. We're talking about it in a hot tub, as dudes do. Talking about life in a hot tub.
And bros.
3 actually, technically. 5. It's okay. we're having a time. And we're talking about it, and he brought it up. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing. But what's the problem, Zach? If I know I'm competent in math, I'm not going to pass that test, Zach, because it's too specific. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's so true.
Because if I think I'm competent in building computers and they give me a test, I'm going to fail it. Why is that?
Because you never learned the specific, super specific shit.
Stress, yes, which is built into their curriculum. Of which, yes, it's true that they're probably important, and those are things that I'm going to learn when I go into that company and they teach me it, and I learn by trial and error.
Right.
Which sounds like a bad thing, but trial and error is the correct way to learn, in my experience. Now, obviously, if I don't know shit about computers and I say, hey, I want to build computers, and then I go to a company and they say, yeah, fuck it, come on, and you can already see why this is a bad thing. And they say, fuck it, come on in, and I go and I bend and I break some computers, like I break like 20 computers and I ship them out anyways. That's a bad thing.
Right.
But you can tell that, I can tell that, some random person can tell that. I know that I won't do that. So why don't I do that? Because I don't have a piece of paper that tells me I can do that. Or I won't do that, rather.
Right. There's that really interesting fine line where you're comfortable enough to be able to perform said thing. But also there's that level of trust that other people would have to have you on. And
I understand that.
Yeah. It, as much as it sucks, it is kind of like a safety blanket, I guess, for the companies who are hiring new people, for them to know that they're at least somewhat competent and know how to not break shit.
Correct. I mean, I think we talked about it before when I was talking about my keyboards and stuff, how when I ship internationally or something, I have to ask for like their number and their address and their first last name and their social security number and, not that, but, all these specific things where
their
it's like,
Wi-Fi password.
And I get it. That makes sense, And when you think about it like that, it does make sense. Because I know I'm a good person, and I'm a good person. I'm not going to do anything bad. But how do they know that?
Right.
Even if we're cool, what if we're Twitter mutuals, Zach? How do they still know I'm not gonna stab them in the back? There's literally no way for them to know, even if we're cool.
Right.
So what can I do? Well, I get a sheet of paper that says, hey, I graduated from building keyboard school.
I am professional keyboard builder, man. I have a piece of paper that says that I can legally, even though it was legal in the first place, I can perform said task in an adequate manner.
Yes.
And I learned way too fucking much about this oddly specific thing.
Yes.
For me to be able to take this and apply it anywhere else.
Correct.
That's kind of some shit, right?
It is some shit, but it is what it is. So anyways, there's a summary of the Spark Notes of the educational system thing, of the educational episode that we'll do. But,
wow, Spark Notes. Jesus Christ, this episode's going to be gnarly.
But I will say my experience with school is kind of I'm still in the process of maybe getting kicked out of one of my classes for inactivity. Because let me explain. I already explained I'm a bad student and I procrastinate a lot. And that's my fault. I agree. But I feel like it's not my fault. So, well, it is my fault, but it's a little silly. I talked about how I'd rather do a bunch of other things. And, in general, okay, well, what if I just slam everything out and the last day before things are due and stuff? And maybe there's a couple late assignments here and there, but it's all good, right? It's whatever. It's whatever. Like, obviously, it's not good practice, but I'm not going to practice good practice for school because I think that's stupid. I'd rather save my energy to do good practice when I'm in the work. Anyways, I miscalculated it, and there were some classes or in one of my classes, a business class, there was an assignment due like on Thursday or something, and there was a bunch of other things going on. I was trying to get keyboards in. My Wi-Fi was actually flickering in and out. I had the other family, it was like life got in the way. And I hate using life as an excuse for school because it sounds stupid in an email because they hear it all the time, Professors hear it all the time. And I know they hear it all the time. And so I hate using that excuse. But when life gets in the way, it's tough because the last thing I want to do is a stupid assignment. I'd rather I'll do it late. I don't care. It's the first week. And then I got an email around, on the Saturday of the first week. And they said, hey, you've been kicked from this, hey, good morning, and it was a polite email, that's good. But you're kicked from this class due to inactivity. And I was like, what is this, a fucking Valorant game? What do you mean I was kicked for inactivity?
Right.
What do you mean? So I was like, fuck. So I had to email them, back and forth emails. Luckily, I should be able to re-enroll. And the professor is super nice. She's a great lady. Shooting emails back and forth. She slammed a colon dash parenthesis, like one of those smiley faces. The dash is the nose.
Yeah.
Come on. She's cool.
Super cool.
Super cool. She's cool. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. So, and we're talking about it, and she was like, hey, if you can get back into the class, we can adjust some of the work that you have, so then we can make some of those, like, I'll change some of the deadlines or whatever, so you can catch up faster. I'm like, this is awesome. So I emailed the college. I haven't heard back from them yet. It's Wednesday now this is the second week, so hopefully it's back. And I'm pretty sure I should be able to just enroll again, do the same process, but I don't want to fuck anything up, so I'd rather just wait for a response.
Right.
But at the same time, it's already halfway through the second week, so I'm gonna probably shoot my professor another email again or whatever. But
watch you get kicked for inactivity again
twice. Okay, listen, I'll do. Okay, we'll see. So my current plan right now, so the way, at least for these online classes work, is that all of my classwork for the week is laid out for me, of that week, like Monday or whatever. Okay, cool. These are the assignments for the week. All right. So what if I just slam every single one of those assignments in one day?
That's a lot.
Is it? It's 2 classes. And I slam the whole week's worth of assignments. I just dedicate one whole day or 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. And that's what I'm gonna be doing after this. Tuesday and Wednesday. I slam the entire week of assignments. And then I'm free. This includes quizzes. This includes book material, everything. Just everything. Because everything is already laid. All my assignments are there. I'm still getting used to Canvas and stuff. Some of it's kind of wonky. It's been a while since I've been on Canvas.
God, I forgot that Canvas existed.
Yeah. It's kind of wonky, but it's okay. It's okay. If I can just bite my tongue, the reason why I'm not doing Monday is because that's the start of the week. I'd rather just have that extra day as a buffer to mentally prepare myself, or even spend that Monday detailing out what I need to do for the week.
Right.
Tuesday comes along and I just bite my tongue and start hammering out all the classes until I get burnt out. And I tell myself I'm burnt out, and then finish the rest on Wednesday after uned.
I mean, that's not a bad way to go, if you think about it, because
then I have 5 days off.
Yeah, you're still getting everything done that needs to be done,
Mm-hmm.
but also at the same time, you're saving yourself a lot of time and energy because you're just going to do it all in one space of time.
Yeah, I know I guess the smarter and healthier way to do it would just be to spread it out,
Right.
like normal schooling.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem I found with that is that I start to lack time. And then what if what I call the chaos, which is is a term in science, or discourse, chaos, I can't remember, is when the flow is interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I do spread out my classwork throughout the week. And then Jackson goes, hey, Arthur, you want to hang out? And I go, yeah, what day? And then they say, oh, this Thursday. And okay, well, I had to do these assignments on Thursday. Okay, I guess I'll just stack them onto Friday. You see what I've done?
And then on Friday, I'm like, hey, Arthur, do you want to shoot a video today? And you're like, yeah, sure. And then you stack it onto Saturday.
Or not even. You say, hey, you want to shoot a video on Saturday? Oh, okay, well, I'll just move Saturdays to Friday. So I'll do Thursday and Saturday on Friday. Or I'll move Saturday you see what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I predicted, because I know that that's going to happen. even though I don't leave my house, that's just gonna happen.
Right.
And I'm not prepared for that because even though I am a go with the flow type of guy, I realize that if I want to bite, I've already decided that I'm not down with school. So I'd rather just get this over with as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
Right.
So I'm going to take the efficient route rather than the I don't know, the normal person route, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And how healthy is it going to be? I don't know. But if I can turn that into a workflow and turn that into my weekly routine, and that's going to be the important part. When you get into a routine, right? When it's routine mode,
mm-hmm.
then it's cool. I just have to force that into my brain that it's routine mode instead of Tuesday rolls around and I'm like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And what happens is when I go, that means all of Tuesday work just got dumped onto today, which is Wednesday. And now I have to do all of that on today. So hope this is a good lesson for me in the following weeks. Be okay, you got to at least kill to like maybe half of it or even 3/4 of it on Tuesday. And then do the last quarter of it on Wednesday, and the following Wednesday. And that'd be pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably not a bad way to go, especially if you have the time to dedicate an entire day to it. Mm-hmm. Just because, you know, like you said, you run out of time and then it turns into one of those situations where you're like, fuck, I don't want to do it. And then, you know, you're like, oh,
motivation again.
Right. And you're also talking to someone who was never really motivated for school, even when I was in high school. Yeah. Like, you know how close I was to not graduating. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who don't know, who I'm sure I talked about this on the show before, but basically I ended up failing a bunch of classes my first couple years of high school. And so it was second semester my senior year, and I had 5 credits to make up. I think it was 5 or 4 or something like that. Just a ridiculous amount.
Right.
And so basically I ended up having to make up for
those who don't know, usually semester courses in at least in our high school and US high schools, they're like 0.5 or 1 credit.
Yep.
So, you know. Or no, a semester is 0.5, right? I think all of them are just 0.5 and then you do 2 of them for the 1 credit.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's big tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically what ended up happening was I ended up having to make up for 3 years worth of laziness in 3 months. And so I had to do all my credit recovery stuff. And of course, you know that I was working smarter, not harder. And I basically cheated my way through every single online class that I took. And my credit recovery teacher, who was just there to make sure that we didn't do anything stupid, got all on my case. And of course, he was Kevin's credit recovery teacher too. And so
your brother.
Yeah, my brother. And so I already kind of had a bad connotation in his mind. And once he found out that I was not necessarily doing things that he would have expected me to do, I was like, well, do you want to see me here next year? And he was like, no. And I was like, well, there's one of 2 ways that this could go. It's either you let me get the work done in here, or I'm going to go somewhere else and get it done where they're not going to ask me as many questions. And so basically I ended up working in the library, and, you know, I got everything done. And it was all like me graduating high school was all dependent upon my English final, which was like a group project thing. And so I told everyone in the group, I was like, hey, listen, if I don't do really good on this final, I'm not going to graduate high school. So get your shit together and let's get this done.
Right.
And so I ended up just killing it through that. I got like a 95%, I think, on that or something.
Nice.
And so it's really interesting. So that was Friday, and then graduation was on Monday or Tuesday the next day, or the next week. So it's really interesting when I think about it, like, yeah, if I applied myself, I would have been able to do so much better. But it was one of those situations where I was like, dude, there's nothing of substance in probably 90% of the classes that I was in. I just needed to take it to get a piece of paper for people to know that I'm not a lazy piece of shit. And now we have like a GED or, you know, alternative diplomas that you can get as opposed to a high school diploma.
Mhm.
And so, that's what Kevin did. And I have a couple of buddies that have done the same thing.
Mhm.
And so now it's just like, well, shit, if I would have known that I would have been able to just do all of it in a couple months as opposed to 4 years, like that. Honestly, if anything, that just tells you how little substance there was in a lot of the schooling that we did, because 4 years worth of information and knowledge was condensed into like a 4-month thing.
Right.
So it's like, and then I went to college, and then I stopped going to college.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to college, and then I got a piece of paper that said that I wasn't gonna kill animals, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that wasn't what it was. It was a veterinary assistant certificate.
Which is what that is.
Yeah.
In a broader sense, I suppose.
You are not going to be terrified when you walk into a clinic, basically, is what that means.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. Sorry.
Stop.
I needed to stop because we need to stop. I think we've said our points, so we'll save the extra points for when it's mission critical on the Uneducation Station episode, of which we talk about education on the station.
Uneducation Station.
Do we want to make that episode 100, or should we just like get it done? Because I know for a fact we need to get Jackson on the couch, just in general. Right. And then maybe we can have Alec on the couch, just like a solo, just to kind of, full circle it, and then we get both of them on, perhaps.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We've had them both on more than once, haven't we?
We have. No, we haven't had Alec on more than once. We've only had him on once, which was our first guest, which was a disaster.
He was our first homeless man.
He was our first homeless man.
I love how we've just been rolling with the theme of like they're just random homeless people that we find, and we do live in Vancouver, so
we do live in Vancouver. Vancouver is just one big homeless population for Portland.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was disrespectful.
But yeah, I definitely agree that episode needs to happen, and I mean, I can talk to the peeps and see what's going on. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're getting pretty close to like the time limit. We're at like we're just about to pass an hour.
Oh, well, we got time. What are we talking about?
Well, I mean,
it's only been an hour, Zach. Come on now. You got places to be, Zach?
No, but
Zach, I have homework to do. Come on now. I don't give a fuck. By the way, if my professors are watching, they're not going to be watching. But in case they're watching, because the internet is the internet, and the internet does what internet things do, I need to preface that I have no problems with classes and my professors and their curriculum-based things and their ability to teach. That is not what I have a problem with. So do not freak out. And the reason why I was inactive, why I got kicked for inactivity, was not because I found the classwork boring. I actually looked at the classwork and I just miscalculated, and I thought that all of my assignments were due by the end of the week. Turns out it wasn't. That was my fault. But to be fair, Canvas was a little tricky to kind of remember how it worked. I kind of have an idea now, but it's still kind of wonky, especially when different professors set their Canvas pages up differently. It gets really confusing very quickly. I have no problems with the ability to teach, or my professors, or you guys as a people. As a fellow human being who also likes to teach people the things that they enjoy or the things that they work on. I have no problem with that. I just have a problem with the broader sense of education is all. At least here in the US.
Yeah, it's really interesting. One of the vets that I work with, she went to veterinary school in Ireland.
Oh.
And so it's really cool.
Pretty gangster.
Pretty swaggy. And so it was really interesting learning from her and seeing all the things that are different about what she did in Ireland as opposed to what my other vets did in the US. So yeah, it's really fascinating to just see how education is different all around the world, and how, we kind of got hit with the short end of the stick as far as like the accessibility to higher education and a lot of those types of things, as well as the connotation that comes with education now, just because it really did become like, oh yeah, you need to go to school to have a future. But it's
going to be a tough debate, and it's a debate that can't ever be solved because, again, it goes by trust. But I am a firm believer of the idea that a kid who has the potential to find the cure for cancer may live in a low income home and never go to college.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And a lot of the people who have made all of the best developments in the world didn't go to college. Some of them dropped out of high school and they were like, I just want to do this thing. And then they ended up, revolutionizing everything. And so it's like, the key to success is not education, it's dedication and commitment and spending your time valuably.
That was really good, Zach. That was good. And it's not education, it's dedication. That's not a fuck, that's a t-shirt, Zach. That's pretty good. I like that. The dedication station.
The procrastination and education station.
Uneducation, procrastination, dedication, hesitation, no breathing.
Declaration of independence.
Yeah.
Dude, my brain is fucking melting.
No, it's okay. Did I show you, Zach? The Bunny Girl Senpai.
Yes.
Yeah, they got it re-announced. Or they're announcing the next 2 seasons. Or I suppose the next season, not next 2 seasons, next season's the next 2 arcs. Which will be fun. I thought, the last time I checked was like literally forever ago. You're gonna break that chair.
It's fine, everything's fine.
No, it's not. It's my chair. If it breaks, you're getting a new one.
Okay.
Just gonna get another one of these. But you have to assemble it. Just so you know, so you understand. Wasn't that bad. And that it was 4 stars because it was just an okay chair.
It's a chair.
It's a chair.
Anyways, Bunny Girl Senpai, next 2 arcs.
So it's the one I don't remember what they're called, but what is the one where I based on the trailer, based on the announcement teaser thing, is when Maya's younger, or whatever that could mean, and more on Kaide, which I am stoked for. I thought that there was still only the most recent volume was still Dreaming Girl, which would be Makinohara and stuff, right? That's what I thought. So I was really confused when I saw the announcement. Well, first of all, I was pog champing IRL, and then, oh, nice. I gotta save that. But then I was like, wait, I thought there was only. Wait, what? Is there more? Is it about to be original? And I checked. And no, there's a handful more volumes. Okay, never mind. Because I was gonna be worried if they dove into the original story camp, like the original story route. That's always kind of hit or miss, and it's tough. It really is. I understand why it's tough, and I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But just in general, they've always been hit or miss. Although, they've been kind of bangers recently. There's this one called Licorice Recoil, which is awesome. My brother loves that show. I love that show. It's great. But in general, it's when there's no source material and you're just kind of going for it. It's tough, and it leaves expectations it doesn't really exist. And then it gets set at a certain point, and it's like, okay, well, this is the expectation that we just randomly set. Did it meet it? No, maybe we should have put that shit lower, but it's too late. Because the community, we decided communally it's too late. Things like that.
We decided it was going to be a banger before the pilot even came out. And now it's dog shit.
But I'm excited. It's going to be awesome. I am trying to watch more anime now that I don't work anymore. And as long as I can stick to the, only like slam all my schoolwork in 1 to 2 days, I'll have more time to stream. I'll have more time to watch anime and read mangas. And that's the plan. Because I have been reading way more Demon Slayer. And I am super fucking stoked for season 3, Zach. Because it's going to be so fucking intense.
I haven't read the manga.
I know you haven't, but I'm just going to say, I know you've been busy and you haven't, it's really good. Normie Slayer. I love Normie Slayer. It's so good, Zach. Because, okay, it's been a while since we talked about anime, so I'm kind of pumped. It's been a while since both you and I have watched anime. I still read manga here and there, but as far as like talking about the manga, it's not usually going to come up in Unet. But for Demon Slayer, I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously, because that would be stupid. I would never do that. But what I will say is that the anime is really good. Like, it's really good. It's shonen, it's normie, but it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, damn, the manga got carried hella. Because I'm reading the manga and I'm like, shit, dude, the anime is just way too good. So I'm kind of just breezing through the early chapters, and it's still really good, obviously. Like, it's really good. The artwork starts getting better as you keep going. Rengoku's part was really sad still, and it was awesome. And then I made it past season 2. No, actually, I would say, interestingly enough, the manga in season 2 was way better paced.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Yeah, because I know everybody was freaking out about the beginning of season 2. We had a whole episode on it. Everyone's like, "Oh, season 2 is trash." It's not trash. You just have no patience. But yeah, season 2, like, the pacing was really nice and it was really good. And then we reached what's going to be season 3, and now I no longer have an anime bias. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, let's go for it. Yeah, let's give her a go. Let's go. Because I've been the whole time. I'm borrowing these mangas from my coworker, from my friend, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll read it, And now I'm like, bro, give me those fucking volumes, because I'm gonna go fucking ham.
You're like, give me all of them,
Zach. It's so good. Oh my goodness, I've reached endgame. Like, it's happening, and I'm like, this is crazy. Now, there's something that I think Christian may have mentioned that I don't know if he did it in the podcast or we were in conversations, but towards the end of Demon Slayer starts getting pretty rushed.
I
technically haven't gotten to that point, but as I'm getting there, I can see how it is getting to that point because of where they're at. I'm not going to say anything, obviously, but I did take a class on this storytelling thing. I can tell when the plot points start to get a little more narrower. I can tell. So, what's this? So, let's pull something out of this pocket. I didn't wear this one out. Nobody cares. So, but what's proceeding right after? I don't think that part's going to go into season 3. What's preceding season, like what's going to happen in season 3? The Swordsmith Village and maybe the training. We'll see. It's nutty, and I was actually like having so much fun reading. And I mean, like I said, the anime is really good. So it was hard for me to really like. I was basically just imagining I was rewatching the anime as I was reading it. But now I don't have the anime to imagine. So now I'm just reading it. And now that I'm just reading it, I'm so hyped because it's so good. So I'm pumped about Normie Slayer again. So I'm super excited for whenever season 3 comes out, which is gonna be awesome.
Coming out like next year or sometime?
It's got to be next year. I don't know. There hasn't been a date yet, but it's key visuals and it's gonna be awesome. And Muichiro, right? Yeah, Muichiro, the Hashira, the quiet one.
Mm-hmm.
The black-haired one, long hair. He forgets about things. He's a fucking goat. He's my king, dude. He's my top. Well, my number 1 is still Mitsuri because she's awesome. My number 2 is Michiro because he's awesome. And also Akaza, the enemy in the train movie. He's a good enemy. He's a good villain character. That's all I'll say. He's a great villain.
Well, I mean, I could already tell that just by watching the movie.
Zach, you don't know. You gotta read the black and white text, baby.
You're like, you don't know shit.
You gotta look at the silly pictures, Zach. And let your imagination go wild. Akaza is probably hands down one of the best villain characters. And it's so simple, but it's like it's one of those things where, classic villain things. Like, why is Thanos so good? Because he had motivation and he had reason.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds simple to write a villain like that, but it really isn't, because you need more than just a reason. You need that build up. You need that anticipation, and you need that audience. I'm going to say audience reaction whenever they show their face.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you're in the theater and Thanos pops up, everyone's like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
How do they do that? All sorts of things. Because the entire time in Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame, Thanos has been built up to be this monolith in various ways, not just because of balance, and not just because of all this backstory, but because the way the movie was shaped around the fear of him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good villain. And Akaza, I mean, I guess the antagonist of Demon Slayer is Michael Jackson. Muzan, right? Muzan Jackson. But still, Akaza is like, I think even during the movie, still no spoilers, but even during the movie, you can see the way he acted against Rengoku, and you still felt like he just wanted to fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
He wanted to find that worthy opponent for him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, dude. I'm in the Demon Slayer Facebook group, and I saw a bunch of like fan-made stuff about Akaza and Rengoku.
You're gonna be careful. Jeez. You're gonna get spoiled. Or do they mark things as spoilers?
Oh, they don't talk about the manga like at all.
Okay. Well, you don't know that.
Well,
but maybe ignorance is bliss as well. Go ahead, good.
So it's mostly about the first 2 seasons in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was really sad. Like, someone had drawn like them 2 fighting as little kids. Like, if we would have met in a different time and like all of that kind of stuff, like just a whole bunch of wholesome stuff. And it'll be like the whole gang as like just regular people.
Yeah.
And it's super fascinating. And it makes me really sad whenever I watch it, because I'm like, fuck, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's like theory crafting stuff is always a blast when you're within that community. So I get it. It's fun. But yeah, I gotta avoid that just in case. But it's also, I don't know. I mean, I won't spoil anything, but I will say you gotta watch Jujutsu Kaisen, because the movie finally is streaming on Crunchyroll, Zach, and we had a viewing party at Cameron's house. So much fun. Oh my gosh, so much fun. And it was kind of funny because we were watching it, and we were upstairs and it was cool, but it was like on a TV that was like really kind of small, honestly. But it was fun. But even then, it was a great experience. We're just sitting there eating food and watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and I was like, dude, this is fun. And I love normie anime, Zach. Normie anime is fun.
There's a reason why it's normie anime.
Yes, because it just feeds my it just activates my dopamine, Zach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just hits that mode in my brain where I'm like, yes, please, It's like I'm watching The Matrix. Back when I was like 10. No, younger. When it was The Matrix. Matrix was 90s. But the reruns, obviously. when I'm like 5 or 6, and they're like, look at this, look at my boy.
Neo being like,
and the flips and shit, in the bullet time, and the I know kung fu,
and the blue pill and the red pill
mixed together, it's the green pill.
What about the blue pill?
Oh, you're right. It makes purple, not green. Oh, Zach. Oh, Zach.
This has been unhinged.
Okay, Zach, when are we watching Weathering with you?
Oh, Jesus.
I have a lot more time now, as long as I stick to my schedule. So basically, as long as it's not Tuesday or Wednesday. What's the vibe? I'm calling you out right now on this episode, so that way next episode will be, or whatever episode it will be the Weathering with You episode. Although I'm not sure if we can make it to an episode, but we'll see. Because Makoto Shinkai, I believe, he's doing another movie.
Oh.
Which is why we need to get on Weathering with You so we can be prepared for the next movie. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Shit. Yeah, we can do Friday. Well, I can't do Friday. Well, maybe I can. It depends what time we get back. I have a birthday party on that evening.
Well, I work on Friday, so it'd have to be in the evening time.
Okay. Well, I'll let you know when I get back.
Okay.
Back with me, and we'll see. Well, I mean, we're going to Big Al's, and I'm pretty sure they close at some point. So.
At like 11 or 10.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah, okay. Friday, or maybe we'll figure it out. It's all good. We'll shoot for Friday for now. But yeah, that's a good mini segue to this final bit. So Zach can go home and take his nappy.
Because I'm tired.
You're tired. What do you think I am, Zach?
You're on like cloud 9. You've passed the point of sleep.
When you are me, Zach, there is no sleep. You're just like
r/no sleep.
r/no sleep. I'm just awake, Zach. So Apple dropped. No, I'm just kidding. No, movies are on Crunchyroll now. A lot of them. Jujutsu Kaisen, like I said, but also Your Name. Weathering You is probably going to be on there at some point. Josie just dropped on there.
You were telling me about that.
Yeah, it's cool. The Crunchyroll, ever since they got Funimation, I don't know if it's specifically because of that, but they're pulling some moves, and they're getting more licenses. And at some point, I'm sure Weathering You will be on there, and that'll be awesome. I doubt they're gonna get silent voice because I'm pretty sure Netflix has that on a chokehold, but we'll see about that. But they're getting Crunchyroll. It's cool. This episode's sponsored. No, they're not. But I think it for me, I mean, even back then, those movies weren't there. So that's super cool. Before, it's like, where did you even... I guess you watch it on Prime Video because of the movie. You watch you can watch Your Name on Prime Video or the sus websites. But usually it would be Prime Video and stuff. So it's cool. It's very cool. So that's exciting. I mean, that's all I have to say about it. I think it's just, we don't talk about how licensing is already super crazy and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Not a very fun business to be a part of, and is not very fun for consumers, but it exists because money. Okay, we'll end the episode now.
Okay.
Because Zach is no longer enthused.
I'm a sleepy boy. So if you guys enjoyed this video, click the little thumbs up button down below.
Video.
Click the video button. Subscribe if you guys are new, or if you find yourself coming back on the regular. We have links to all of our socials on there, and we have some links to some videos that are popping up on the screen right now. So this video is going to be one of our most popular videos. This is going to be the one with Christian Cha. That one's super good. The most recent one that we did with him, that was super fun. And then also, if you want to see a blast from the past, this is the first one that we did with the guest. That was with Alec, and that was a lot of fun. So if you guys,
that was our first guest.
If again, if you guys enjoy this video,
you point it up again.
Fuck.
It's okay. I mean, you get the idea.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Goodbye.